For your first project, we are going to be working on a mini-sized clutch bag using the rectangle method we have learnt earlier. So if you have not watched it, please take your time to do that. All you need for this is your Tshirt yarn, magnetic clasp, tapestry needle, stitch markers, scissors, and needle and thread. This is needed to hold this clasp strictly to your bag. Let's get going. To start, we are going to begin with a basic chain of 12. Again, we are going to begin with a basic chain of 12. Like we have learned in the beginners class, we start with a slip knot and we chain 12. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now we have chained 12. We are going to have a turning chain like we always do. Let's turn right here. Then the next thing is we are going to build a single crochet across, turn the stitch with an extra chain, and go that way all the way up. Let's do the first one so I know we are together. After your turning chain, we are going to do not in this first chain, but in the second one, a single crochet. Now let's continue all the way to the last chain. Don't forget to always pick the last one. So we'll pick the last one. Then we have the turning chain here. Then we turn our projects. Now don't forget, we don't work here, first one or the second one, so we can have a straight line. We work here. So we'll continue our project. Here we have 45 rows of single crochet going up. I believe you can see how straight the lines are. If your project is not this straight, then I have a feeling you must have missed a couple of stitches at the edge. Please take your time to watch the video where we talked about making rectangle for beginners. Now, I have 45 rows here. But I want you to have an open mind. Crocheting is a world of endless possibilities where you can create anything you want. You don't have to have exactly 45 rows that I have here. Now the reason why I have 45 rows is because I am measuring with my phone to see, let me put it inside, to see how it's going to properly close, and then I can have my clasp here and seam the ends. Now for your own bag, right, you don't have to be rigid about it. It's endless. Let me give you an instance. You can decide to have a square like this. You know, we started with 12 rows. Say you start with 14 rows and you work up to have this shape. It's helpful for you to also have like a paper or a template to work with, so you make sure you have the shape you want. After having this shape, you can decide to fold it, sew the edges with I'll show you how to do that one. You're going to use your yarn steel and decide to have a zip here, so you have a triangular bag with a handle. So what I'm saying is, it's important that I mention it. You don't have to have for your assignment. Another possibility is this. Let's imagine we don't want to have a foam pouch like this, right? It's boring. We can decide to have something like this, like an ATM or a card holder, a small purse that you can keep your money inside. say I seam the edges here and here, here and here, I can decide to, have my card here, then close the wallet here using this clasp, and I have a wallet. So if you want to have, for your assignment in this segment, if you want to have 45 rows, it's up to you. But I really want to see you do something unique, something different, using the simple rectangle. You don't have to stress. You can decide to do a triangular bag, like I've shown you with the serviette, or you can decide to do a foam pouch or a purse. Let's continue to finishing up. So anything you want to do at all, this is how you finish up. I'm going to show you how to sew the edges very neatly, still using your yarn. You don't have to use any other yarn to complete this project. So the first thing to do, like we have known before now, is to snap up your yarn and pull it out neatly. I think I have too much here from my end. We are going to sew the ends in. I believe you know how to do this already. After sewing in your ends neatly and carefully, you're going to measure up where you want your bag to stop. Again, I will not be giving you any particular numbers because I'd love you to be creative with what you want to keep in your purse. Now, I want my phone in my purse. This means I would stop. Okay, I think I want the cover to be a little longer. Yeah, I want the purse to have this shape. This means I'm going to have a stitch marker here to remind myself that I am not going to extend the stitching past this level, and I'll make sure it's on the same line right here. So that means anything I do, right, I'm not going to touch these 2 points, and here my phone is going to fit almost exactly, and I'll still have enough room, to have the cover and the clasp, the magnetic clasp. So let's go. You're going to cut a generous amount, not too long, because you're just seaming this side, you're seaming it side by side. So I'm going to cut an amount of yarn that is just enough for you. Again, I won't be giving you inches to cut or in yards or anything. You need to open your mind to endless world of yarn's creativity. Now, what you want to do is just seam both sides. It's that simple. So you're going to start by going through the first loop and the one behind. Just to be clear, there are different ways to do this. There's no textbook that says this is how you have to sew your ends or the sides together, but this is what works for me. It might not work for you. Just try and find it. Just like you're sewing a normal dress, don't let it go in. You leave some ends out that you're going to attach later, and then you attach the important points together. You see it clearly on your project. I'm working with what I can see from my end. Just take your time. You could have discovered other ways to have 2 ends sewn together before now. That's fine, you can use it. I'm using the one that is convenient for me. Let's keep this here. So I'll see you at the end where I've joined both sides together. Now that we have our purse almost ready, your project should look like this, except you're making a different design. You'd have this tail out, and I'll show you the best way to keep them in. So the one in this corner is quite technical because you can't dip your hand in to fix it in. So you're going to use your crochet hook and look for the best ways to stylishly keep it inside. to keep it inside. And once you feel that's done enough, you can snip it off and further drop it in. So this way no one knows where you started your project from. The same thing happens here. Okay, like I said, there's no manual to this. There's nowhere that you really have to take under any instruction. Just find what works best for you. So we're just trying to keep it in, and we snap it off. See, it's fine. Then we can take off our stitch markers. We don't have need for them anymore. And it's important that you properly keep in your ends so that your bag doesn't start to fall apart in a short while. So you do the same thing. Since you're most likely going to line, we'll talk about lining in another time, but since you're probably going to line the bag, it's best to keep all the unpleasant parts in quotes inside. Keep it inside, and your edge here is nice. But the same thing happens here. You make sure it's tight enough, and then you start keeping in. I think I'm fine with my own, yeah, I snip it off. So as you can see, I already have a purse that I can cover, and let's test with what I wanted to use the purse for. That's with my phone. Can we see that? So I could keep my phone, even my card, and any other thing you want to keep inside. So let's quickly work the clasp, and I will show you, the different handles you can use for it. For this clasp, it's quite simple. You only need to open it. You only need to attach with needle and thread to both sides. I'll see you once we've done that. Congratulations! You have successfully made your first crocheted bag, and I am so happy for you. You can fit anything you'd like to in it. Now for the handle, if you won't like to carry the bag around as is, I would introduce you to this adjustable ring holder to keep the chains in place for your handle. Now let's have it. These ring holders, as you can see, are adjustable and very flexible. You can decide to place it anywhere you think is perfect for your bag, and same goes for the other side. So we have our ring holder in place. Then we'll go to our chain. Easily fix it here and here, and now we have our bag. I am so excited to see what you have created, and I will see you in the next class.